So we all know why Trump is endorsing the liberals. Because they're weak, and he's got something on Mr. Mark Carney here. There's a reason why Mr. Mark Carney didn't go over to the United States and try to work out the tariffs. Let's dig into what I found. So you all remember GFANZ. If you don't know what this is, I'm going to educate you. Now, GFANZ was launched in April 2021 by UN Special Envoy in Climate Action and Finance, Mark Carney. And for those of you who don't know what this group is, this is the group that is running the policies, putting the carbon price on everything. They invented it. Mark Carney was the one who founded it. And there's more. I mean, if you look into his wife, I did a video on it. She is carbon queen. You guys have no idea what they're about to do to Canada. Now, I'm all up for cleaning up pollution, but making people pay to pollute or to pay to fund whatever they're trying to do is ridiculous. These companies should already be doing it out of the goodness of their heart. But all of you are like, that's okay, I'll pay the carbon price because we need to do it. I believe in climate change. Now, I went to the Wayback Machine just to show you that Mark Carney was on this website. You can still go there. His name's all over it. But I'm going to show you that he was the leading co-chair of the group. About Us, the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero was launched in April 2021 by Mark Carney, UN Special Envoy for Climate Action and Finance, and UK Prime Minister Johnson's Finance Advisor for COP26 and the COP26 Private Finance Hub. Scroll down to the leadership. Boom. Mr. Mark Carney. He's now removed from the website, and so is the third guy that you go down. Now, BlackRock is listed on here as well, Larry Fink. And don't forget this guy, Mike Bloomberg. Yes. And I already showed you the relationship with Mark Carney and Bloomberg. I'm telling you, this guy is a globalist. Don't forget this article you missed as well. Mark Carney, UN Race to Zero campaign. COP26 presidency to launch Net Zero Finance Alliance. Net Zero GFANZ, chaired by Mark Carney, UN Special Envoy in Climate Action and Finance, unites over 160 firms, together responsible for assets in excess of $70 trillion US. With $70 trillion, you can end world hunger. Everybody can have a house. And then we can all live in peace and then work together on getting rid of this pollution. Why are we funding this? We've gotten nowhere with this. Not to mention 43 banks in 23 countries with assets totaling up to $28.5 trillion. Now, when you add everything up, I've already looked into this. It's like $120 trillion. I did a video on this previously, so go check out on my other video. Now, this climate cartel is actually being sued. Attorney General King Paxton sues BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard for illegally conspiring to manipulate energy markets, driving up the cost for consumers. This is driving me nuts because there's so many people out there. I don't want to use the word liberals, but you guys are voting in the guy who's the head of all of this. It drives me nuts. Oh, they're taking the carbon tax away. No, there's a law in place. By law, they have to have one or the other. Consuming carbon tax or the industrial. You're about to feel the effects of the industrial. Attorney General Ken Paxton sued BlackRock, State Street Corporation, and Vanguard Group, three of the largest institutional investors in the world, for conspiring to artificially constrict the market for coal through anti-competitive trade practices. And this goes deep. I'm about to show you the court documents in a minute. Over the several years, these three asset managers acquired substantial stock holdings in every single significant publicly held coal producer in the United States. They conspired this ahead of time. They made sure that they owned a certain amount of these companies so they would have power. And what's this got to do with Mark Carney? The guy is the one who founded GFANZ, which all these companies were on board with. They were all funding his entire idea. But that's okay, because apparently Texas will not tolerate the illegal weaponization of the financial industry in service of the destructive, politicized environmental agenda. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street formed a cartel to rig the coal market, artificially reduce the energy supply, and raise prices. This is a stunning violation of the state and federal law. Now, mind you, they are trying to get them to throw the lawsuit out. And who knows if it's going to happen or not? I don't know. I don't know the update. I've already looked. The only thing they say is that they're trying to get it thrown out of court. As it says here, in December 12, 2024, climate cartel faced with antitrust lawsuit. And to make sure I had another source there, because that's 3 already, you can go to the Harvard Law School form and you can read the entire lawsuit there. It's got everything in detail, including the list of coal companies. Now, I don't support the coal industry because, yes, it's a lot of pollution, but they do have carbon filters now that can help filter that pollution. But this entire cartel is trying to run them out without even giving them a chance to fix whatever it is to fix in order to be sustainable and emit less pollution. And there are the defendants. Now I'm going to show you something else. This is called the Sustainability Shakedown, how a climate cartel of money managers colluded to take over the board of America's largest energy company. This is the interim staff report of the Committee of the Judiciary of U.S. House of Representatives, December 13th, 2024. Now I'm going to get out of the way so I can read this and you can pause and you can screenshot it. In the 118th Congress, the committee has investigated the adequacy of U.S. antitrust laws in the light of increasing commitments among left-wing environmental activists and major institutional investors to impose environmental, social, and governance (ESG) goals on the U.S. economy. The committee's oversight has revealed substantial evidence that a climate cartel of financial institutions, from the big three asset managers to blue state public pensions to the proxy advisor duopoly, colluded to pressure American business to commit to net zero and scale down disfavored production through climate correlations, including the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero, GFANZ, the Net Zero Asset Managers in NZAM, Sears, and Climate Action 100 Plus. Investors formed coordinated pressure campaigns to target U.S. companies and demand that the disclose, reduce, enforce net zero climate commitments. This is crazy. Now, they forced reductions. The climate cartel launched a Trojan horse campaigns calling for emission reduction targets that require steep declines in ExxonMobil's production and use of affordable carbon-based energy. They also enforced demands which Mobil refused to surrender to its net zero demands. The climate cartel colluded to vote no against its board of directors to show that engagement can have teeth and that investors are willing to escalate pressure against companies to refuse the act. There's like a huge carbon emissions pricing net zero war going behind the scenes. Well, all these fucking Canadians are like, yeah, Mark Carney's scrapping the carbon tax. This fucking guy is the head of the carbon tax fucking worldwide. What don't you see? The climate cartel demands that U.S. companies adopt transition plans to shrink production. According to GFANZ co-chair Mark Carney, quote, a transition plan is, as the English word would say, it is what it says on the tin. Now, Mark Carney, who testified to the committee in a transcribed interview, securing climate disclosures from U.S. companies is, quote, important for the achievement of net zero because it allows climate cartel members to decide who to lend or who to invest in and who to avoid. So because these large asset managers are all in cahoots with Mark Carney and his G-Funds, they literally are trying to say who they will invest in and who they won't. And because they own majority of the market, they're literally manipulating the market and pushing their narrative. Now, Trump is trying to get back his $20 billion in climate grants that the Biden administration put out and Obama, but the judge barred it, said no. So they are currently going into court to try and get that money back. Not to mention all U.S. Major banks have backed out of this plan, no longer part of this G-Funds or cooperating with them. Not to mention the top 5 Canadian banks have now pulled out of that group. As you can see here, BMO, National Bank of Canada, TD, CIBC, they're all pulling out. See you later, Mark Carney. This is why Trump is withdrawing from the Paris Agreement and reversing it, and exactly why BlackRock, Vanguard, and Stan Street have now left them as well. Now this guy's coming to Canada and going to try and screw over Canada. You are a failure, Mr. Mark Carney. It's just sad that a lot of people just don't believe solid documentation. I've done 35 videos of solid facts on why we should not have this guy running our country. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section.